What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about XPR network today. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. Okay, it is the 21st of April. We're sitting here at about $0.0037 right now, 0.00373. Consolidating right above our prior area of resistance here. You can see that we actually, on February 3rd, we wicked down and we tipped this closing area here, and then on our lows here. Oh, we didn't even interact with that area. That's nice. That's not bad. Finding support at prior areas of support in time, prior areas of support back here as well. So not a bad thing, not a bad look. If we're looking at this from a relative high here to a relative low, we did hit a fib extension of the 1886. We fell just shy of that actually and came all the way back down just below our 1272. We are now closing above it and finding support on this. I do think that this is a platform to build from whenever it comes to seeing prices above this high. The next target area that we're going to go to likely would not be at the 1886, but would be at the 2272 or beyond. And that makes a lot of sense to me because if we take a high to a low from this overall like bear market move that we have here, and I'm going to delete this fib, we'll bring it right back in a second, but we found resistance at the golden ratio. With this golden ratio to 382, it's very common for your next maneuver to take you to the 786, 886 area. That's the expectation, right? That we go to the 786, 886 area. Okay, so with that in mind, if we bring back this fib, high to low, we found resistance at the 1886 golden ratio, same kind of area right here. When we go above, we like to go to the next fib target, which is the 2272. It's very common, absurdly common, to go above the 2272 and not stop at it. So the 786 right there at about 1.9 cents could be a target area. If we were to go above that, and we absolutely can go above that, we could see the 2618. We could see the money zone, something like this. And I very much am a fan of this money zone here. I think that this is where we're going to go ultimately by the end of June, whenever things are all said and done, right? That's kind of the expectation. But we could stop at any of these levels below, right? We could stop at 1.9 cents. We could stop at 3 cents or just below 3 cents. It's very possible. I'm thinking that this next move by the end of June does take XPR above 3 cents. I think that it even goes above 4 cents, but I'm not convinced that we go above 5 cents, right? Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. It could happen. We could see the price go above 5 cents. It's very possible that could happen, but I'm not holding my breath over that, right? The only thing that's making me think that we could go above 5 cents is oftentimes with these very large W patterns, when the W is formed, it doesn't stop until it goes above where the W was formed from. So it is possible when you throw these fibs on there are some targets that are above this area, but just, they're a little bit too high in my opinion. I don't know. What do I know? Time will tell. At the end of the day, I expect that we will see prices that are anything from the current price to the minimum target. That would be about a 400% growth. To the maximum target, that would be about a 12x, something in that kind of area there. That's the expectation. If not, I would think we only go higher. But again, maybe I'm just not bullish enough, but I think those targets are reserved for later dates, later in the cycle. I think at this point in time, by the end of June, what you're going to do is you're going to come up to your all-time high area, consolidate around here, and then going into the end of the year, you're going to get that explosive finish going into prices that are much, much higher than this right now. From the current high, this relative high here, to this relative low, the expectations by the end of the cycle are that you would at least see 80 cents by the end of the cycle. And at the most, I don't know, about $15. Let's see what, I always forget, what is it? Where are we going for XPR? I got to do my homework here. $100 million now in market cap. We could see a 100x, and that would take you to a $10 billion market cap. Okay, so a 100x would put you at 37 cents. And that takes you just above the 1414. It's very possible, you guys, this could be your stopping point. That 37 cents or around there, $10 billion market cap, just above the 1414, I could see that happening. So not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but if you were to have a kind of minimum expectation for where we'll stop by the end of the cycle, I honestly think, as crazy as it is, I think that 100x is a good minimum expectation to have. That's a $10 billion market cap for this thing. If we were to move up higher than that, 200x would give you a $20 billion market cap, and that's at about 80 cents. You don't have to stop there. $20 billion is a lot of money. It's a market cap that most cryptos strive to achieve, but when it comes to cryptos that hit these market caps, it's not completely uncommon, and this thing could not only stop at 20 billion, but we could see something that's dramatically higher than that, right? Let's see, that would be. We're getting to the limits. But I do accept the idea that XPR could see 267. That puts you to around an $80 billion market cap. But at that point, getting away from there, going above 80 billion, that tends to be stuff that we don't see too often when coming from these very low market caps here. I'm not saying that it can't happen, right? Plenty of coins see market caps that are worth tens of billions of dollars, $80 billion, or even $100 billion. I say plenty of coins. There are coins that see these kind of market caps in their second bull cycles. Most coins, I should say, most of them do not see these kind of market caps in their second cycle. They actually fizzle out into nothing, but XPR doesn't seem like it's fizzling out into nothing, not in my opinion. All I'm trying to say, without beating around the bush here, is 267, whether you believe it or not, is a very possible target by the end of the cycle. $2.67 is a very possible target. However, I don't believe we get there. I'm not holding my breath over it. I wouldn't bet against it, but I'm not betting on it. What I would bet on is that we see an 80-cent price, maybe even just above there. We reach for $1. We can wick a little bit above the golden ratio or something like that. Or something most likely I think that we'd stop at is like 37 cents. So something 100x to 200x, give or take, more or less, something in that area. That's what I'm looking for. I don't really have anything else that I want to say. I think I've said it all. So let's talk about the short-term stuff and we'll wrap this up. Okay, so you're at 2037 right now, looking to break. You very much do look like you're about to break out of this zone here to the upside. I'm not going to take this low. I'm going to take this low as a fib measurement. You found support or resistance at your 382, support at your 236. The next target area is the golden ratio. When you do get above about 20415 on a daily closing basis, you can in a short amount of time expect 2053 to 20577. It's completely possible that you go through that and you see your 786, 886 and stop here. But one way or another, whether it's here at 2064 to 2071 or 2053 to 2057, whether it's one of these targets or the other, I expect that you will be here by the end of the month of April, of which we only have 9 days left. Okay, ultimately starting your journey to these prices that are worth 3 to 4, maybe 5 cents, but I doubt you get above 5 cents. I do expect you get above 3 cents. It's completely possible that you stop at 2 cents or around there, but I do believe you will get above 3 cents, and I actually believe you will see prices above 4 cents as well by the end of June. I've got nothing else for you guys. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care.